Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. Welcome to Sisters of the Mystical Tarot with my fabulous sisters. I've got Allie of Heart and Soul Connected. I've got Shari, Voices from the Swamp. And then I got Val from Dragonfly Crystals and Next Level Channeling. Hello, ladies.
Hello,
Marina.
How is everyone? How are things? What's happening in your world, Allie?
What's happening in my world? Just enjoying the beautiful weather. Where it was 79 yesterday,
oh my goodness, that's
and
like a heat wave.
it was a miracle. So yes, yeah. And I did some spring cleaning today, and took a trip to what is it called? Where you dump off your stuff you don't want anymore.
Yeah.
Goodwill.
Yeah.
Goodwill. Sorry.
Oh, Goodwill. Okay.
Goodwill. Yeah.
I was going to say the dump.
Well, you can do that too. Yes.
You can do that too. Yeah. And how about you, Shari? What's up with you?
I got to play hooky and stay home today because we had so much rain yesterday and last night that we were under massive flood watch, and so camp is shut down for the day since it was dead day. Finals don't start back up until tomorrow, so back to work tomorrow. But today I got to just hang out and check my email every now and again and
Awesome.
just
Yeah.
Perfect.
do miscellaneous stuff, and I just kind of took it easy.
It's always nice in the middle of the week, isn't it, Shari?
Yes.
It's like
It
wow.
is. It's great. It's like,
Yeah.
Definitely.
And how about you, Val?
Later today, 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern time, Arthur and I will be on. Bring your questions on my channel, Dragonfly Crystals. And I also have classes. They're all listed now. So you can take Allie and I. We're doing our psychic mediumship class in August. And the rest of them you can all find. So they're well-received courses and everyone seems to enjoy them. So dragonflycrystals.store is the website where you can book a class.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
yay.
Perfect. Wonderful. And welcome to all of you that are here in the chat with us. Thank you for joining us. I've got Linda, Coyote Rosenbaum, Maureen D'Amico, Linda Bishop, Suzanne. Hello, Suzanne. Acadian Proud, Butterfly Readings with Linda, K. Muldoon, Anita K. Spiritual Garden. Welcome, welcome. Marby Gangora. Hello. Welcome to all of you. And we'll get our discussion started. I will remind everyone to please like, share, and subscribe to all our channels. And I've got the ladies' channels that are listed in the description of the video. And if you're interested in booking a private reading, reach out to any of us, and we'll be more than glad to set it up for you. So generally, if you want to send someone an email, best thing to do is go to their YouTube channel, and right after those little 3 dots where it says more, click on that. And then scroll down and keep scrolling down until you see a section with the email. And you can click on that. It might ask you to confirm that, you're not, that you're human or whatever. Yeah. And then it'll show you the email address. There you go. Very, very simple, very quick, very easy. And I will also remind you that we don't take questions from the chat during the show. However, if there's a particular thing that you would like us to read on, leave it in the comments section after the show, or check out our posts on our channels. Well, we will ask you to submit questions for the next week's show. So at this point in time, I didn't get any questions, so it's going to be just us girls chatting. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. That worked.
Oh yeah.
So what I thought that we would look at today is how do you handle negative feedback? And I know we all get it sometimes. So do we just accept it? Do we examine it? What do we do with it? And is negative feedback helpful in some situations? And how do you determine where it falls within your own boundaries?
Mm.
So, yeah, don't ask me to repeat it because I won't be able to say it all again, but you get the general gist.
We got you.
You're
Yeah.
good, good,
Yeah.
good. So, Ali, we can start with you.
Mm.
You're in the hot seat, girl.
In the hot seat. Well,
Mhm.
I gotta be truly honest with you. And having a damn Pisces moon, I'm very sensitive, and although I recognize some things are very constructive, um, I think that it reminds me of being a kid where if you if I didn't ask, you don't need to tell me. If I wanted to know, I would have beat you. Or
Yes.
what was there? There used to be a poster with a orangutan on it. It said, "If I wanted your opinion, I would have beat it out of you."
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, but I've had some strange feedback in my life, but I have feedback from students. I have feedback from supervisors, and then I have feedback here, of course, on the show. And some are harder than others to take. So I think the hardest thing is I know that what we tend to do is we look at all of the feedback that is really probably very good or very average feedback, and we say to ourselves, oh, all right, then we see a negative one. And it's like, oh, look what this one said. So I've tried to work my way out of that and realize that not everybody going to like you. But I don't really I haven't seen too much of that actually on my channel feedback. I've had a couple people tell me some things, and one person I said, thanks for the feedback. And, but when I've been on bigger channels, I've had people complaining about me being on the channel with the other person, and that they only wanted to watch them and not me. So
Like, that is so absurd.
it is absurd. It is. I remember I was on with the astrologer Andre, and I love Andre, and we were simulcasting, and somebody said, "I only came here to watch Andre. Who's this chick?" So,
Wow.
so it was like, and so I responded to it, and I said, "My name is," and I said, "And this is my show. I was interviewing Andre." So, and I know Marina has some good stuff too. She's fabulous. Marina she's right on it. But yeah, I don't know. I think people tend to. It doesn't really matter what side of the fence you're on, but if people are watching a spiritual show, they shouldn't be surprised that you're talking about spiritual stuff. It's like, why are you watching this if you're not interested in it? So I really have a hard time with that. I really do. And with some of the feedback I've gotten from students, I've had some really good feedback at different times. And but I've shared this with my sisters. I had somebody say, Allie probably was a very good teacher, but now she seems to live in organized chaos, and she really needs to just retire or something like that. And I thought to myself, okay. And then I said, I do live in organized chaos. That's very true. And so I owned that. It's like, I live in organized chaos, but look, I was able to be there for you that day, or that term or whatever it was, and show up for you. And so again, I have a love-hate relationship with it. I think you guys probably have better things to say about how you deal with it. For me, it isn't personal, but sometimes it feels personal. I had someone tell me that I need to wear makeup, that my hair is wrong, I'm too pale, I don't have a good camera, I don't have a good sound system. I shouldn't do this and shouldn't do that. But that's okay. I'll still watch.
Yeah, don't, why? Why?
And after I'm done beating you up, then you carry on.
Well, and that's, I just said,
And can you read on my question, please?
Yes.
I said, thank you for your feedback. I'll consider it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
it was just interesting. But when you're when I say we're public figures, I certainly don't mean we're Beyonce or somebody that important. But when you are sort of in the spotlight, that's what these stars and stuff have to deal with.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh my God, on a level that I would not even want to comprehend.
I couldn't do it. No, I couldn't do it.
No.
Yeah.
No. No.
Oh, well, thank you, Witchy Gardens. That's very kind of you.
Yes. Yeah.
That's why they have people that answer their emails and answer their phones and run to the 7-Eleven for a popsicle that the kid wants,
Because they get criticized anyway.
You become your own, you wind up, and I've heard a lot of celebrities say this, you wind up becoming your own prisoner in your own home. You can't even leave without making sure that everything looks perfect, and there's still going to be somebody that's going to point something out,
There always is.
Oh my God.
Someone who, when people say they don't like how you look, tell them to put a Walmart bag over their head. Yes.
And then Maureen said I would have told them to get bent.
Yes.
I love you guys.
Exactly. And how about you, Shari?
Well, when I was much younger, just normal before any of this happened, criticism, I took it really personally. So it was really, it would hurt my feelings because I didn't understand that it was somebody, most of the times it was somebody just trying to point something out so that I could be better at whatever it was I was doing. And then when I started doing this and I finally got online, and in the very beginning, you get really nice compliments. And then after about a month or two, sometimes the claws come out, and you're like, well, damn, if you think that, why are you watching? I mean, just like doing the life after life thing. Oh my God, I made the mistake of going in and reading the comments. It took me like an hour to go through all these comments, and some of them were downright ugly.
Yeah.
And I started responding to them. Why are you watching?
Yes.
If you don't believe any of this, and if you think it's all hooey, why are you watching it? I don't understand the reasoning here. Is it just to make fun of somebody or other people's beliefs or what? I don't know. I mean, now I kind of just take it with a grain of salt. Every now and again, somebody will say something that just because of the way they phrase it, it'll kind of get under my skin a little bit. But even then, it's like I have to go walk it off or something and be like, okay, they have no clue what happened to me this day. I mean,
no, they don't.
When I first started out, the biggest complaint I used to get is, why you always talk about yourself? You're always talking about yourself. Why don't you just read the cards? And I'm like, because what I'm talking about myself has to do with what I'm reading in the cards.
Right.
That's how we
But
read.
we're not everybody's cup of tea. That's the hardest thing to really say. But it's true. Yeah. So go and have it there somewhere else.
Or recently, it's y'all talk over each other and you're so rude and It's like, no, we get psychic hits, and if you don't like spit it out the second it comes, it's gone a minute later and you've lost it.
Yes.
And it's gone. I mean, it's like you should have grown up with my family. I mean, I can remember going to my great grandmother's for holidays, and there would be 50 people in this little bitty 2-bedroom wood frame house for the holidays, and you would get all the women in the kitchen dining room area. They would all talk at the same time. They would all talk about something different, and everybody knew what everybody else was saying and talking about. The first time my husband experienced it, when we got in the car to go home, he was like, oh my God, I didn't think that was possible for people to do that. I'm like,
It
and
is.
now you wonder why I'm always just carry on, just say what you're gonna say. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Is it? I grew up with it. I mean, everybody in my family did it. So, my
Yep.
grandmother would hold entire conversations with nobody but herself, her side and the other side.
Mhm.
She would back and forth, and her voice would even change when she.
Nice.
So it was like I don't know who the other person was supposed to be, but she gave them a different voice.
Yes.
And I don't know if that was for our benefit or her benefit. I'm not real sure. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm really tempted to respond in the kind of the same attitude that they're given. And I think, no, that's exactly what they want. They're trying to get me to feedback so they can jump. See, she's not who she says she is. She's gonna talk like this. And so I just I won't give those a thumbs up. I just ignore those comments.
Yep.
And if
Delete.
it's on my channel and it's really, really bad, then I'll go in and delete it. And I don't say anything to
Bye.
them. It's just
Yep.
like, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't,
Take it off. We don't need it. We
yeah,
don't need that
I don't need
negativity.
that.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
no, not at all.
Constructive criticism is different, and
Mhm.
we all give each other constructive criticism if we spot something that maybe might help you be better. Um, and that's cool, and sometimes those that are watching will notice something and they'll send you a message or they'll say something in comments. And that's cool too because you can kind of get the feeling off of it that they're trying to just say something without hurting your feelings that just kind of caught their attention. And usually I just tell them, well, thank you. I'll try to make a note of that and just
Yep.
go from there. Um, and some of them can be, there are some folks that can be really ugly. And it's like, delete. I don't have time for that.
And
Block. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Bye
out.
bye.
Whatever.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Thanks for stopping by. You
Don't
know,
let the door hit you with a good Lord
good luck
split you.
with
There, there you
you.
go.
Yes. Yeah. And how about you, Val?
For me, there are zero times, unless it's my own chat on my channel, that I would go in and look at comments. It's none of my business. I don't need to read them. It's not going to blow my ego up, and I might see things that are what people would think are as discouraging comments, but really it's commentary on the level of understanding that that person in the chat
Yes.
if it's another show uh, like the Life After Life NDE, they might be there out of curiosity, and they're not yet even dipping a toe into the threshold. They're just hearing
Curious.
these
Yeah.
things to see, are they real? Are they really real? Oh, these are too outlandish. Comments. It's so that's understandable. I don't need to read those comments. So I probably will never go in and read any of those comments. But if someone is giving me advice and I haven't asked for it, as Allie mentioned very wisely, if I haven't asked you, don't give me any criticism, whether well-meaning or not. It is not something I'm seeking. Do not give me criticism. If you're going to befriend me and say, oh, this is for their own good, no, hold that in.
Yes.
Because a lot of times someone will give you ego-based critique from their perspective. If you only did your hair this way, or from their perspective, if you put, this kind of eye makeup on, or from your perspective, if you talked this way, or you had these guests on, or whatever it is, that is not helpful to anyone. And then there, even if people are giving you information that they feel is going to help you propel your channel, help you go to the next level, it's only from their limited perspective. And so always go within for all your answers for everything, no matter who you are or where you are, always go within. Somebody's well-meaning things could be a message from your guides and angels. Go in and check it out. See if that's something that it suits you or will work with what your guides and angels are bringing forward and whatever's on your divine path. Always go within to examine. Do I examine negativity and look at it like it is something I need to look at myself like I'm not judging myself. No, I don't judge myself in that way. I try to be in a space where I am really living in this light. And if somebody else is giving me negative comments in that arena, it's not about me. So
yeah, that's very true. We have to remember that. It's about them more than us. Yes.
Finally, and most profound is you're here to bring information to people. People who are hard to hear it, who are limited in their understanding, people who may at first go, no, but then later they'll get it. And whose first voice did they hear when they did dissent? They might have heard yours. You might have been that first critical path carved. So even if you hear that, you are saying it. It's getting out there on the ethers. It's getting out there in the airwaves. Never censor yourself or the divine message you have. And if it's a comment or criticism about 3D stuff, oh, come on. The hair, the voice, the whatever. No, that's over with. Forget it. It's not even a topic. I'm even talking about things like spiritual perspectives, ideas about how the world works, how the universe flows. If there are things you say and they go, oh no. Fine.
You're wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. There's like right and wrong. So you get to be right from every perspective you hold. So, in that way, let's just say that if somebody does come on my channel and make a negative comment, they're just deleted. I don't have the energy nor interest to follow up. I don't want my people in the chat or the community to have to be subjected to any negative comments whatsoever. And so that's my feeling on that. So what you think about me is none of my business.
So, that's right. That's right.
I mean, that's just how it is. Yeah. So, yeah.
Everybody's got a delete button.
Everybody's got a delete button.
Yeah.
I think I am a Pisces.
Yes. Yes.
You are a different Pisces than anybody.
You know why? Because I have Moon in Aries.
That's why. No wonder.
I'll take numbers.
The
warrior Aries is my moon.
Yes. Perfect.
Wow. No wonder.
Yeah. But I have Venus in Pisces. So my love is.
Well, I have Aries as my rising.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Aries is your rising. There you go.
Wow.
But Gemini sun and Aquarius moon.
Yeah.
And then I got Aries and rising. It's like, okay.
So people are going to see you as someone who will go out and get things moving, action oriented.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a good thing. Yeah.
So for me, I think I can take a look at negative feedback, and if it feels like it is constructive negative feedback, I can at least give it consideration.
But why is feedback negative at all? If it's positive feedback, it's not negative feedback.
Yeah. There's some people, I think, just assume that if they if they were to be too positive with you, that you're not going to get the message, that they have to deliver it with a little bit of vinegar in order for you to pay attention. So I will gauge it against whether I think that it is constructive and I can look at it. If it's personal, no. You're right, Val. What you think of me, I don't care what you think of me. It doesn't matter. Because
you're
at the
for a
end of the
divine
day,
plan purpose, and you're doing your thing. That's
I'm on my journey. You're on your journey. I honor your journey.
Yeah.
Please honor mine.
Yeah.
Keep your thoughts to yourself. And then you put out, a video like my channel, my boundaries, my rules. Just saying. So, but I think that, there are times when, we might do something or say something that comes across, we think it comes across one way and it comes across another way.
True.
So it is entirely, I think, permissible to call the person out. And I've recommended this, when someone says something you don't like, feed it back to them and say, I heard you say blah, blah, blah. Is that what you really meant?
Yeah.
And give them a chance to walk it back. It's the personal ones, I think, that are a little more difficult to deal with, because they're not coming from a heart-centered place. They're not coming from a place of they're not coming from a genuine place. They just want to, like you say, that they want to make themselves feel better by trying to make you feel bad about yourself. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't make me feel bad about myself without my permission, and I refuse to give you that permission.
Exactly.
So there are times when it's really wonderful to see negative feedback, and I want to share one of those times. Apparently, Linda McMahon, the Department of Education lady, wrote a letter to Harvard University, and they sent it back to her with all the red.
Ouch.
And I thought, I like that one. I like that one.
That's a little ouchy, but yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's quite scathing.
It is very scary. It's 2 pages full. I mean, I looked at it as an English teacher, and everything. This is a preposition. This doesn't belong here. You have a comma splice. You didn't spell this right. Do you mean this? Oh, it was great.
Oh,
it was great.
Gosh.
Yeah. Perfect. Shari is having issues getting on.
It's the thing that my USBs are plugged into.
Oh.
And it's got like a glitch or a short or something in it, or I just have too much crap plugged in. I don't know. I got everything unplugged that I'm not using, and it's got little buttons for each plug. You can turn it on or off. And so I don't know. It just started this when I got the new camera, I think, because it just takes so much more power than the other one did. So I've got to figure out how to rewire it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at it because it's irritating as all get out.
So I was going to say that one of the comments that I remember getting, and it was so easy to respond to, it was, I've been watching your channel for a while and you are so full of BS.
God.
I've been watching your channel
for a while to figure that out. It took you a while to figure that out.
That kind of an
I said, if you watch my show once and don't like it, you're a critic. If you watch it more than once, you're a fan.
Yeah, exactly. A fan who likes to critique.
Yes.
Yeah, so, it reminds me too of, how when you're when you're on an airline and at the end of the trip, when when someone will generally always say, thank you for flying ABC Airlines. We know that you have a choice when it comes to your travel destinations and your airline of choice. Thank you for choosing ABC.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
there are other channels out there. I don't think it's personal. If I don't resonate with you, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with me or something wrong with you. It simply means that
you
don't
there's
resonate.
Same
a
wavelength.
disconnect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So there is someone out there for you that you will resonate with.
Yeah. Definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It reminds me somebody that was thinking of starting a channel, and then she kept knocking herself down, and she was like, well, there's already so many people online. Who's going to watch me anyway? I said, your voice may be the only voice that that person can hear.
Yes.
And the rest of us is just, he's not paying attention, or she's not paying attention, whatever. I said, but you get on there and say something, and that's going to be the voice that they hear. So even if you only have a subscriber of one, that's one person you're reaching, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And
That's true. Or you're
That's
just
the
doing
same
it for
thing
yourself.
about, different people hear different voices and different messages. And no matter where you are, not everyone in the world is going to agree. It doesn't matter. Spread your message, your information that you're here to share. And that's your divine path. So you're going to honor that. And that's how it is. So
Absolutely. So I do think that, and there are oftentimes when we ask for feedback, like I just did this. Could you take a look at it and tell me what it sounds like? Because, it sounds one way to me. But so, I think a lot of times we operate on that feedback. But if I'm not asking for it, you don't have to share it. You don't accomplish anything by trying to be nasty to me, because you're hiding behind this anonymous title, and I don't know where you are and whatnot.
Right. That's what gives them the courage that you have no idea who they are. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't have to know you personally to know that you are not the kind of energy that I want anywhere around me. So chances of us ever meeting are slim to none. And Slim just left town. So
So here's a response for you. Marina has better ones, but I remember this. This is a response if somebody gives you crap. Oh, thank you for your information. By the way, you still beating your wife?
Or your kids or your dog or whatever.
Whatever fits. Yeah, whatever.
That's very good.
Yes.
It's like, how do you answer that? Because somebody could say, well, I never did that. Sure you didn't.
And you know what?
That's when you give them that little side eye and you go,
forget it. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. It's like opinions are like a-holes.
Yes, exactly. Two can play that game about that.
That's right.
Oh, Mousy. Yeah. As a kid, we had 3 channels. Yes, ma'am. I remember those days. And if the prime minister or president
required somebody holding the antenna too. So
yes.
When the prime minister would come on and no shows came on because the prime minister was on, as a kid, you're like, get him off.
So in November 1963, I remember it was all about the JFK thing. And my cartoons weren't coming on. So I took off my slipper and threw it at the TV. And
because you're a
kid. I heard the TV, but my parents just came unglued.
Oh, because they paid a lot of money for that TV.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That would have been sacrilegious, because remember when we used to sit around and watch Gunsmoke, Bonanza?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's right.
all of the shows.
Rawhide. Yeah.
Rawhide.
Yeah.
Oh, and
And you had to be
when
there to
Clint
watch it when it
Eastwood
was
looked
on.
cute.
There was no replays. So
Yeah, there's no
No,
TiVo
that's right.
then. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. And after the news at 11 o'clock, you heard the
Do you know
national
where your
anthem.
kids are?
Good night, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Do you
was
and
know
then
where
you
your
got to
kids
watch
are?
the static snow on the TV.
Yeah. The
That's
snow.
right, Debbie
And-
Smith. The president's on. We're going to miss Flipper.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. The president's on. Darn it.
Yeah.
Oh God, when
For me,
Watergate
I-
played, I
I
thought I was
would-
going to go crazy because all of our shows were off because of Watergate. It was like, when are they going to be done with this stupid thing and put their shows back on?
For me, if something happened, I would miss Disneyland. That was the end of the world.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
Yeah,
right.
That was
Right.
absolutely.
That was very hard.
Yeah.
Mom, Dad, why? I think I threw some tantrums related to that.
Well, I know I did when some of my shows, if I missed them when I was a kid, like Bonanza,
Yeah.
because I was in love with Little Joe Cartwright. So
Who
yeah,
wasn't?
my first baby
Adam,
doll, I took off her dress, I cut off her hair, and I renamed her Little Joe. So I had the first trans baby doll, I think, of the whole.
See, I thought
generation.
Adam was cute
Wow.
Yes.
in a dark kind of way. He was kind of strange. but-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there was, mind you, that was back in the day when if you wanted to change the channel, you
You had to
actually
get up.
get up,
You had to get
walk
off the
over.
couch and change it to the other one of the other three channels.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And then sit and fiddle with it to try to get it to come in and go hold the antenna. And you
Before
got one person
cable,
over here
there
with a
was
leg
the
up and an arm
antenna.
out. And
My
okay,
dad
don't
thought
move,
he
that's
was
perfect.
really something because he had one of those boxes that turn the antenna.
Yes.
He thought he was it.
Oh, sure he was. Well, he was. That's very rare, Yeah.
Absolutely.
I remember when our neighbors across the street got their first color TV.
Yeah.
Nobody had a color TV. I mean,
I didn't have one
everybody in
until
the
I was a
neighborhood.
freshman in college. My parents never had one till
Oh
then.
my gosh. Well, my parents did get one probably a few years after they started coming out because what were we? A television family.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
We also, our gathering
Lived in front of the
every
TV.
night was in front
A
of the
lot of
TV.
people forget that on PBS back in the day, there was the Loud family. And they were the first show that was ever on that was a reality TV show.
Oh,
They lived in Santa Barbara
yeah.
and they had kids and they went into their home and did it. And they got divorced at the end.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
too much stress and
Yeah,
strain.
Too much pressure. But that was
yeah.
back in like, I don't know, 64, 65, something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that kind of focus and attention is it rouses up the ego. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to be a pretty strong person. Very
Especially
very
then.
self-aware and whatnot.
Very
and to be with
self-aware.
that kind of partner in order to do something like that. Otherwise, you're constantly judging yourself.
Yes, there's
Against-
so much about that. And then you're judging everyone else who didn't do XYZ in front of the camera, or maybe they did XYZ in front of the camera. And then you're making it hell for your spouse and the kids. So there's so much. Yeah.
Did you also love watching Candid Camera and House Party with Art Linkletter?
Yes. I watched
Candid Camera. Oh,
yes, Candid Camera. I could sing the song right now.
yes.
When you least expect it, you're elected. You're the star today.
Wow. You're on Candid Camera.
The one I really wanted to watch was a Candid Camera movie, and it was What Do You Say to a Naked Lady? And apparently a naked lady comes out of the elevator, and they got the reactions of everybody, but they rated it X, of course.
Of course.
Because, yeah. But I would have loved to have seen that. I remember I was old enough that I probably could have, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I Love Lucy. How many I Love Lucy's have I seen in my lifetime?
Oh my God.
Probably every one of them 10 or 15 times.
Oh, yeah. Especially when you were sick and there was nothing you could do all day long, and you watched all that shit on TV.
Of course. Yeah. And don't forget the Donna Reed show, Lassie.
Yes.
All of those from way back. And Leave It to Beaver, My Three Sons.
Those were such lovely shows, though. They're family oriented, and they were so nice. And mind you, now when I go back, and if there's something older like that's on, and I'm listening to it, and I think, ooh, that would never fly today. Like you can say that, right?
So the advertising.
Yeah.
The same thing. You can go on YouTube and watch old ads, and you couldn't say that. Yeah. There was one. The guy said, "I'd like to have my coffee." It was a Nescafe ad, and the guy says, "If you don't start making my coffee better, I'm just going to divorce you."
Okay. Yes.
What about what about the one where the wife is in her curlers, and then they play that song, the famous song where your man's coming home, you better take the curlers out of your hair. Hey, little girl. I mean, that is so sexist.
Oh, it is. Or you've got your own cigarette now, baby. You've come a long, long way.
Yeah, I mean, yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. You mean like these?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. I still smoke that brand.
Yeah,
exactly.
Those were some some fun shows. And even though I think a lot of people had opinions about those shows, they didn't often share them. They kept it to themselves.
Yes, they did.
That's very true.
You might get a little water
coming back to the
That's back in the day when what you said reflected on your whole family.
Yes.
The
most I remember,
you might bring shame to the whole family by your outburst, by your ungenteel outburst.
Yes.
Manners were taught.
Oh yeah,
manners, politeness.
Yeah,
and they were.
And yes, Jackie Gleason show. Pow, right in the kisser, Alice.
Right in the kisser, baby.
One of these days.
To the moon, Alice.
That's right. To the moon. To the moon.
Yeah. How about Ed Sullivan? I mean, come on.
Remember Topo Gigio, the little...
Yes.
Hello, Eddie.
Exactly. Twilight Zone. That was a staple in my household.
Oh, I love that. Dark Shadows. We used to run home from school in the afternoons to get home in time to see Dark Shadows.
Even my dad watched Dark Shadows with me in the afternoon.
Did he? Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And now you can rewatch them on YouTube.
Yeah.
So here's one that happened. It really happened. There was a bozo. Of course, there's bozo all over the place. Yeah. And you didn't have things you could cut and paste or move anything. And this one kid was with Bozo, and Bozo said something, and he lost a game or something, and the kid said shit. And Bozo says, no, that's a Bozo no. And he said, eat it, clown. And all of a sudden it went to commercial.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just like
the live
TV paying some FCC fines on that one. You better.
Yeah.
Because there was live TV. It wasn't taped and shown again. It was live TV.
Yeah,
it was live. And Soupy Sales got in trouble because he told kids, are your parents around? Go in and go in mom's purse and get some money out and mail it to
them. Exactly. And today that would be like nothing. Oh,
yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Now it would be take your phone into mom's room and see what she's doing.
This is career ending.
Let us watch.
Yeah. All my children. Well, of course,
I watched that for years.
Yeah, for years. All my children.
First major.
As the World Turns was my grandmother's favorite.
Captain Kangaroo.
I mean, Captain Kangaroo, Mr. Rogers. The Sesame
Linda Bishop was on the Bozo show. Did you say anything bad, Linda? Was that you?
Yeah.
The first major conversation I remember in just the general public about a TV show where everybody was talking about it was Who Shot JR
Yeah. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the 80s. And
Yeah.
I won $50 because we had a pool going with a group of friends, and everybody was putting in like a 5 or $10 to buy your who you thought it was. And I didn't know. I just said she'd be easy to get rid of off the show, and so I put her down. It was, it was the sister, um, but I can't think of her name right now. But yeah, it was. Yeah, that's all anybody talked about was Who Shot JR. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there were some shows that everybody that you knew not to call them at certain times in the
Yes.
evening because they would be watching the show and they would not answer the phone.
Exactly.
And that was before
you
the
better
days
be
of
dying if
answering
you
It was
didn't.
the golden time. You did not disturb people.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
And 9 times out of 10, you had your TV dinner or your dinner
Yes.
plate in front of the TV.
Absolutely. On a TV
I
tray.
think we were
On
the
a
first
TV
generation
tray.
that ate our food in front of the TV.
I mean,
Yes.
who didn't? You had all these shows that you had to watch. So
Right.
My grandmother used to save the little trays, the little aluminum foil trays,
Yeah.
and then she would make her own TV dinners of leftovers and recover them in foil and stick them in the freezer. And so when we wanted something, she would
Yeah.
pull. It was a surprise. You never knew what you were going to get, but she'd pull one out, stick it in the oven for you.
And
Yeah.
that was back when there was no microwave. You couldn't
No.
nuke it. You had to.
It was actually really
No.
horrendous to eat off that aluminum foil created
Yes.
a lot of Alzheimer's.
Yes.
Yeah. It did.
Yeah. Absolutely. But you know what? That was the way that it went. And
Yeah.
Kids
And now
say
the
the
plastic,
weirdest thing.
just gets in your blood now. The plastic trays. So
I know. It's always something.
Just traded off one disease for another.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, ladies, we're only at 47 minutes.
we're
But
done. I think we could say we're done. I think we've done it.
So the bottom line is don't listen to what other people say about you.
Exactly.
Trust your own self and don't be nasty to other people if you're the one making the comment, I guess. Huh?
Keep your advice to yourself. No one wants to hear it. Unless they ask you for advice, don't say it. Just keep it to yourself. If they ask you, then that's permission.
But
for
we're
you
preaching to the
unload
choir
what
here,
you think.
because these people aren't like
yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just it. Anyone who has watched our shows or watched our channels for more than a minute knows basically what our feelings are on certain things and so on and so forth.
Human decency.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So those that we don't resonate with probably don't stop by and probably just walk away. And that's okay. Just don't tell me you're walking away while you're walking away.
Exactly.
I don't need to know. So you guys, thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for sharing part of your evening with us. As I said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to all the channels. It really helps us get the message out to people who want to hear what we have to say. They just don't know yet who we are, so they can't look us up by name.
Right.
So help them find us. Do your civic duty.
Can I just say that artist Liz is back in the hospital. Please send love and healing to her.
Definitely.
And
Mel goes in tomorrow.
Mel goes in tomorrow.
Mel has surgery tomorrow.
And Kay Muldoon was asking for and Mary Starshine. So we're sending love out to you and much love and for your folks.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. And next week, we're going to be on Shari's channel. Shari will be our hostess. So if you have anything that you would, in particular, that you would like us to read on, as I said, make sure to leave your question at the bottom of this video or send an email to
Yeah,
Shari.
I'll try to get it posted before the weekend hits. That way they have plenty of time to put questions in.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Sounds good.
And ladies, it is always a pleasure to get together with my
Always
sisters.
a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank
I
you.
love it. All right.
Absolutely.
So you all take care, and yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.